Hey everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. So in this video I have my grandmother back. She is getting a redesign. I decided to show you prep in this video. I have filed down her acrylics the whole way because I got a comment on the last video when I did her nails that I didn't prep well enough, or that you could see polish on her, dark polish on her cuticle, which doesn't make sense because her set before, I think it was blue, but it wasn't polished, it was all acrylic. Anyways, so I just made sure to push back her cuticles. She has really tough cuticles. She works a lot with her hands, so she has tough cuticles to push back. And I believe that this is sped up. Yes, but it looked like, I thought it was in real time, but I guess it's not. It's sped up. Now I'm taking a Russian manicure bit from Exclusive Nail Couture. This is like this cylindrical one. It's my favorite to clean out the cuticle and push the cuticle up so that if I need to nip it, I can. I don't suggest nipping on everybody. I nip on my grandmother because she likes her cuticles to be really clean, and she has really dry and very, very waxy, I guess, but they're really dry cuticles, so you can definitely tell what you're nipping. There have even been, because I think that the same person commented that I didn't remove her cuticle or didn't nip her and I'm like, I do, I promise. I do prep her nails. But, with age, and I'm sorry if you're watching this, Nanny, I'm sorry, I don't mean to call you out, but with age, skin does tend to get discolored, and, so if she has a little bit of discoloration around her cuticles, it's fine, because that just happens with age. She's healthy, trust me. If there was something wrong with her, we would know. She goes to the dermatologist all the time. So, anyways, now I'm taking a little bit of it's a really thin bit that I use to get all of the sidewalls clean on her, because she is so active with her hands that she is an easy lifter. So I really need to make sure that all of that dead skin is out of her sidewalls, because sometimes it just finds its way in there for whatever reason on her. So when I'm going and working, I work on one side, and then I do one side on forward, so I'll do her left side on forward, and then I'll do her right side on reverse, so it's always pushing that cuticle up. Now I'm taking a 150 grit file, and I'm just removing the shine from her natural nail. This isn't a whole lot of muss or fuss. It seems like I'm being super aggressive. I'm really not pressing. I'm not applying any pressure. I'm just taking the shine off. Now I'm dusting back her cuticles. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to nip her excess. So you only want to nip what's so-called waving at you, I guess. That means it's sticking up from the nail bed. You don't want to go chomping in the nail bed if it's not sticking up. You really only want to nip what's going to be in the way of acrylic application, and this cuticle that she has would prevent me from getting a clean application. You can also do this with bits if you'd like, but her skin isn't a really good skin type for that. Her cuticles are really dry, even though she tries to moisturize them a lot. So, like I said, I don't nip on everybody. Some people have better cuticles than others. For example, I don't have to nip my cuticles hardly ever because I maintain my nails pretty well. I would say my grandmother is probably one of the only people that I have to nip cuticles on at all, other than my boyfriend, but that's a whole other video. You also want to make sure that your nippers are sharp. So these ones that I'm using are from Exclusive Nail Couture, and they're fine, but they are getting dull. So when my nippers get dull, I retire them to nip for to get stones off, as a rhinestone remover. And you want to make sure you're always working with those sharp nippers. So now I'm just cleansing the nail with alcohol, and I'm probably wiping there with a little bit of acetone because I just want to make sure I'm removing all of the moisture from her nail. Now I'm going in with Young Nails Protein Bond. I'll do one coat, and then I'll wait, and then I'll do another coat. I'm only really putting this on her growth or whatever doesn't have acrylic on it. It doesn't need to be, it's kind of a waste of product if you put it on the whole nail, so I would just put it on the growth because that's really the only place it needs to be. It won't hurt it if it's on the acrylic, like it won't make it lift or anything, but yeah. So there's a sneak peek of her nails. She gave me the wrong hand. So now I'm going to go in with Young Nails Core Clear, at least I think I am. I am probably using a number 8 brush. I'm probably using my Susie brush, which I still love. I have had that brush since January, and it has been my go-to brush pretty much the whole time, except sometimes I do use a 12, but I love this number 8. It is beautiful, and it has not failed me yet. So I'm just putting a small bead of clear acrylic on her new growth so that when we go to redesign again, we have something to file down to. Now, I did this set like a while ago. Like, I probably did this set a month ago. So she has had her nails done since this, and they looked really good. They're like green color changing, and she got a really pretty glitter on them. Anyways, so unless you plan on soaking off every time, which I don't think that's good for the nails, there's really no reason to put them through a soak off, and I think soak offs take a ton of time, so I would prefer to just e-file everything. Then that's how you're going to protect the nail bed from color acrylic. It's also good because colored acrylic has a lot of pigment in it, and clear acrylic is going to adhere to the nail better. So now I'm taking, and I'm using Young Nails liquid. I always use the liquid, whatever is going on the nail bed, I use the liquid and powder that go together. So now I'm using Glam and Glits. This is the Glam and Glits Mood Effect collection. So this is another color changing one. She loves the color changing acrylics, which I think that she's really branching out. This is the first full glitter set that she had ever had. So this was kind of out of her comfort zone, but she was super pleased with them, and she got lots of compliments. She had them on for 3 weeks. Normally she only has them on for 2, but a couple of things happened. I went back to school, so I wasn't like right there at home to do them when her 2 weeks were up, but she just loved these nails. She got compliments on them. She told me that she almost gave my number to a cashier at a store because she was complimenting them and wanted her nails done, but she didn't. So I guess my grandmother is my walking advertisement. So with this, I think this Glam and Glitz color is called Blue to Full Disaster. So when it's cold, it's like a dark blue, like you can kind of see there. It's almost as dark of a blue as what's on my thumb. And then when it's warm, it goes like a sky blue, but it's still glitter. Like it still has like silver glitter in it, and it's really, really pretty. So I'm making sure to work this as thin as humanly possible. I've noticed with these Mood Effect acrylics that they are so pigmented that they can sometimes be really hard to work with monomer. Like you can't really pick up a bead. It just kind of collects a little bit. It doesn't actually collect a bead. It just collects pigment. I don't know if that makes any sense. So it's really usually wet, which I mean that's how you want to work with colored acrylics anyways, which is another reason why you want to have a clear base down so you can get the right ratio on the nail bed so it will adhere and correctly, and then you can use the colored acrylics wetter. it's not as bad with this one, but with the green one that she had the next time, which I didn't film, I'm sorry, that one was really hard for me to work with. Like, I could not get a bead of it for my life. So if that happens, I would just suggest mixing it with a clear acrylic. That'll add a little bit of a base to it, and it'll kind of give the monomer something to react with other than pigment. So I believe it was also pretty warm in that room, which is why it was setting up really, really fast. You want to try to avoid that as much as you can. You also don't want to work in direct sunlight, as I made the mistake of doing yesterday, because your acrylic will set up on you so fast, it's not even funny. So I'm just finishing that up. You can kind of tell when the acrylic, when this mood changing acrylic starts to cure, because it'll change, like, you can kind of see towards her cuticles, it'll change color. It'll start to get lighter because that's that exothermic reaction of acrylic happening in the polymerization process. I know that's a lot of scientific terms, but exothermic means that it's giving off heat, and you can kind of feel it when acrylic, it'll get kind of warm when it's curing and when it's starting to set up a little bit. So yeah, you can, it's funny with the mood changing ones, because you can tell when they start to cure up. Sometimes you can't see it until you put the clear on, because you might put it on so thin. You just want to make sure that you're covering as much as you can. This is an overlay pretty much on her natural nails. I tried to completely take her nails off and do a sculpted set on her, but her nail beds, if you didn't see it at the beginning of the video, her nail beds are so short for how long she likes her nails. So for us, it's just easier to do an overlay, to let her natural nails grow long and to do an overlay, because when they're sculpted out to her desired length, her nail bed just can't hold on. So if you have somebody who has a teeny tiny nail bed, this might be something that you want to look into. Overlays are kind of annoying to me because I feel like you can't get as uniform of a shape as you can with sculpting. So, use that to your discretion. So now I'm capping that color in clear acrylic. The reasoning for that is that we don't want to file away all of that colored acrylic. Some colored acrylic, they say it's a strength powder, and if you filed into, like, past the clear into the color a little bit, it probably wouldn't matter. However, as I talked about with these being really pigmented, the more pigmentation a powder has, the less strength it has, especially glitters. And this is very glittery, very pigmented. Plus, we don't want to cut those glitters in half with our e-file or our file. You can tell when you hit glitter. Now, for this, it's silver glitter, so it's not so noticeable. But if you had like a gold glitter or like a blue, like a straight up blue glitter or like a red glitter, and you filed into it, you could tell, because you would kind of get these silver sparkly parts of it. And you'd be like, hey, I didn't have any silver in there. But that's really the file or the e-file cutting the glitter particle in half, and that's the inside. So you've hit something when it starts to turn silver. So I guess silver is kind of a cheat if it's a little harder to tell if you filed through, but we don't want to do that. So I'm just capping in clear. I try to keep my application as nice as possible, just because that's less filing that I would have to do, and I hate filing. I think at this point I had turned on the air conditioner, and I just could not get my product ratio like super correct, and I ran out of liquid. So that product ratio on the thumb there was not good, because if you're realizing, especially if you have a dap-in dish that is, like, dark, see, that's a lot better, you might not be able to see when you're running out of liquid, and if you're running towards the bottom of your container of liquid, your ratio can kind of, the acrylic can start to kind of be super watery, and, like, you can't get a big enough bead because your brush isn't fully saturated to where it needs to be. So if you're running into those kind of issues, look and see how much liquid you have would be my number one tip to you. Alright, so now we are going to get started on filing, I would assume. As I'm cleaning up, I should have cut this out. So I test the acrylic to see if it's cured by tapping it. I'm using my Fantastic file, which is, it's a metal file. I like it because you can really get a crisp shape with it because it doesn't bend like a cardboard file does. And I'm rubbing that nail because if you rub the nail a little bit, it can kind of help the product cure up a little bit faster. So I'm really trying to get that to cure up just so I can at least file the sides. The thumb is definitely not done. And the grit of file that I have on that is an 80 grit file. So you can kind of see it's been used, but that was from her other hand. I feel like you get the most crisp shape with an 80 grit file. That's just my opinion. Yeah, see, that thumb is definitely not ready, so I don't know why I keep trying to make it ready. You can see, though, it turned a light blue now, so now it's a light blue, and you can kind of tell that it's curing, and the clear acrylic is doing its job. So you guys might think that they look thick, but for her, if she has ski slope nails, so it's really impossible kind of to make her nails look super flat. But I will fix a little bit of that with filing. So I'm using my Kiara Sky e-file, which I love, love, love. And I'm also using my, I think this is a Melody Susie drill bit or e-file bit. And it's just a flat top, medium barrel bit. This is good when I have like a little bit of bulk that I do want to take down, but I also want to get into the cuticle. So I would say this is probably my best multi-use file. Multi-use bit. I don't like using safety bits because I feel like I can't get close enough to the cuticle with them. So I've practiced a lot with flat top or X-cut or however you want to put it, bits, and I've gotten quite good at them. You can see my head's in the way, sorry. If you are just beginning with your e-file, I would suggest to only go one direction. Don't necessarily go back and forth. I'm okay with going back and forth because I have pretty good control of my e-file, but that's not for everyone, and that's okay. So I'm just taking off the bulk and hoping to God that I don't file through it. I feel like that's always the part of colored acrylics that, like, even now, and I've been doing them for a year and a half, maybe. I feel like I'm always afraid that I'm going to file through to my design. So now I'm just going over with a 150 grit file. This is going to help just smooth the surface a little bit. And, if I got any huge chunks, which I don't think I did with that e-file or with that bit. And it's going to prep it for top coat, which is my favorite part. I don't have a reveal at the end for you guys. I'm sorry. Like, I don't have a clip or a picture of her nails. We forgot. I think we were rushing around for something. So I kind of forgot about it. And then by that time they were grown out, and I didn't want to show you grown out nails. Like, that's kind of gross. So now I'm just going to cleanse them. I'm going to get all that dust out. And now I'm going to wipe over with a tiny, tiny bit of acetone. To me, I'm not scrubbing, because if you scrub the nail with acetone, then it's going to be too smooth and top coat is not going to adhere. Now I'm going to go in with 1 coat of Protein Bond to just really make sure that that top coat hangs on for dear life. And I'm going to apply some gems on her ring finger. This was a really pretty gem arrangement. I don't do well with my stones and like stone placement. I always seem to have trouble with it, so I'm using Exclusive Nail Couture's Gummy Jelly and their Wonder Gel top coat. Their shiny top coat you can also use it with this, and you can use their velvet top coat. I choose to use the Wonder Gel because I think it has a little bit of a better shine. It holds up a little bit better since it's stain resistant. And I think the gems, since it's a harder top coat, I think the gems hold on better. So, I'm not curing. Don't do that if it's not your family. You really shouldn't wipe with the sides of your thumb ever, unless you're gloved, but she's my grandmother, so I think I was in a rush. So I'm just taking like I think it's an oval stone, and then I'm going to put some little rhinestones around it, and then some on the top and some on the bottom. So that's kind of my stone placement. I don't know how I came up with it. Don't ask, because I don't know. I'm using my Crystal Katana. That's not exactly what it is. It's not that brand. But it's a crystal picker-upper that I can't find anywhere. And I'm using some Crystal AB crystals that I got on Amazon. I got both of the smaller ones and the bigger ones on Amazon. So it's really important when you're doing something with like the gel, like if it's gummy jelly or maybe like the Poochie's Nails Bling gel, you want to put the thicker gel on and then put the top coat on directly after, and then don't cure it, because you want those gems to sink into that hard gel or to that thicker gel, and you want the top coat to kind of shrink wrap it. So I'm just going to make sure that nothing ran on the sides, and she's going to cure that for a couple of seconds. And then she's going to come out of the lamp, and I'm going to top coat her nails. So I'll give you my ending spiel. Right now, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I love doing her nails for YouTube. I think she loves it, and I love it, and so yeah, she loved this set, and I love this set so much that I want to do it on myself. Be sure to like this video. Give me some comments down below. I love hearing from you guys. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. I love you all, and I hope you are all staying safe. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.